Enos, who asked if any of us here at the company have a direct Scottish heritage, and if so, from where in Scotland specifically. How many of us have family tartans, family clan connections of our own? So I think we can. This is a mantra of ours, to a degree, about whether you can wear a kilt or not if you're not Scottish.
Yeah,
and we are kind of examples of that in this building.
Yeah.
Also,
a lot of we are a mixed bag here at USA Kilts. We are in the middle of, not quite middle, but the edge of Pennsylvania Dutch country. There's a lot of Germans in this area. There's a lot of Welsh in this area. It's a big, it's not a Scottish stronghold, as it were. So for employees, which, we have to pull from the pool around us, there's not a direct, strong Scottish community here. It's a mixed community of other European type stuff and other communities or not ethnicities, heritage kind of thing. So, and just that's kind of how it is in America in general. There's just a lot of people who have
always a
mixed
mishmash,
heritage.
depending on where you are.
Period. None of us are from Scotland. None of us have, all of their parents were from Scotland. We're all mixed to some degree. Some of us have zero Scottish, and that's fine too. Yeah, I started the company just by obsessing about kilts and Celtic music and that kind of stuff. I don't really have Scottish ancestry that I know of. I have a bit of Irish, and I'm mostly German. But something about the kilt, something about the culture spoke to me. And the more I kind of peeled back the layers of the onions, the more I wanted to know, the more I obsessed about it. So my entire life was consumed by learning about Scottish stuff, and then learning about kilts, and then learning about how to make kilts, and then constructing them myself and trying to figure different things out, just the way my brain is wired. So, and then the more I learned about it, the more excited I got. And I, started a company with my wife, and 15, 17 years later, here we are.
Yep.
How'd you come to it?
I got into kilts and all that as an outgrowth of being a history, goober. I have Campbell on my father's side and Stewart on my mother's side. But those are further back in the line, and I have pretty much equal parts of German and English, and Norwegian is in there also. So
yeah.
I'm Northern European guy genetically. But I've always been drawn to Gaelic, Celtic, and British history. And I've always been drawn to tribal culture, both my own roots and any tribal cultures in the world. Really, just I admire the strength of those things, and so that's kind of how I fell into it. And when I realized, hey, I do have some connection to this stuff, then that just amped up my interest even more. So yeah, I have days where I'm feeling very much, yes, today is a Stuart Tartan day, brah. And then I have other days where it's like, yeah, I'm feeling more, just kind of out in the woodsy kind of primitive guy, so I'm going to crank some metal tunes and wear, a utility kilt. But it's so I'm a mix in that sense. But it's definitely the heritage and the sense of a pre-modern mindset that got me into it.
I mean, as far as, I've said it on here millions of times. I'm the PA Dutch. I'm the Dutchie in the group. Mm-hmm. Grew up in Southern Lancaster County, so I'm Scotch, Irish, German, through and through. But I got into the whole aspect just when I was dating my wife. Came out to the shop and she said, "Hey," or I came out this way. She's like, "Hey, there's a kilt shop in town," and I was like, "Oh, really? I know I have Scottish ancestry. I'll go check it out," and then end up buying a kilt while I was there. So it just kind of
never let him leave.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of got locked in after that. But no, it was just one of those deals where I've always had an interest in history. So it was an easy fall into.
Mm-hmm. You had some connection.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah.
Cool.
The commonality here, for the vast majority of our employees, is we all love this stuff one way or another. Mm-hmm. Either we love sewing, or we love kilts and Celtic stuff, or we love a mixture of it. Or we just love the culture aspect of it, or we love bagpipes. There's a reason why it speaks to all of us here as well as out there. So what it boils down to is something we say a lot. It really depends on the angle and where your heart's at coming to it. Are you a sincere student of the culture?
Right.
Are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you doing it for wanting to further the culture, wanting to steep yourself in it, wanting to learn about it, versus wanting to be a caricature of it?
Right.
If you are a sincere student of the culture and you're really, really into it, you can do all kinds of stuff. Hell, I have a show about it now.
Yeah.
So it really just matters about your level of how much you want to learn, how much it means to you, and how much you're just giving it lip service.